Welcome back, my little subscribers. Today we're testing out Aputure 120D's biggest competitor. So we all know the Aputure 120D is the YouTuber's go-to light for video, but we have been lucky that there are a lot of competition out there, and there's a lot of manufacturers like Neewer, Godox making alternatives to those. And today we're trying out the new Pixel C100, and to see my first impressions of what this light can do, how does it look, by trying it out on this video. So the first thing to note is that a nice continuous LED light is essential to having a high quality video image, so that you can lower down your ISO and focus on creating your content without having such noisy video, and also gives you more flexibility when you're color grading, so you're not dealing with noise. So the first thing I want to point out about this light is that it looks almost exactly as the Aputure 120D. So some people may point it out as a knockoff, but I see it more as an alternative at a budget price of $200. Which, in comparison to the Aputure at $700 or over $700, maybe once you add the accessories like the dome or to soften the light, we're probably talking a couple hundred or 200 more. So the cool thing about the Pixel 100C is that, first of all, it looks exactly like the Aputure 120. Second, it pretty much functions the same way. It's a continuous LED. It has a Bowens mount. And right now I'm using the Glow Pop from Adorama, and it's a 24-inch. And as you can see, in this smaller room size, it actually lights me evenly pretty well, which is something I've been looking forward to in video. Now the next thing is, it comes with a very neat remote, and it worked right off the bat, nothing complicated. It has a cell battery, it even came with an extra one. And from here I can control the brightness of the light. So right now we're at 25%, and again, this is a only daylight color temperature, so keep that in mind, which doesn't bother me at all. But if you're trying to get creative and you want a warm color, you're gonna have to look for other options. So let's try it out. Let's start from 0. So 0's off. This is at 1%, which is a lot more dimmed. I'm gonna keep my settings the same. Right now I'm at ISO 250 f2.8 on the Tamron 20mm. I think this is the 20mm f2.8. 25%, which is my preferred setting with the settings that I have on the camera. 50. And again, I'm using 250. The base for Cine 4 is 200, so I only went a little bit higher to compensate. Also, I'm wearing a white shirt. My face isn't overexposed unless I move forward. But if I was wearing a darker shirt, I'd probably boost it up to 50. But today, I'm gonna do 25 because of my white shirt. But 75, you'll notice my white shirt's bouncing a lot more light, and now my forehead's slightly overexposed. At least that's what I see on the Zebra. And this is 100. So now I've got the light hitting this white wall, which is a little bit overexposed, and so is my shirt and my face. So at 25%, this is the lighting setting that I went for this situation. I think I would go for 50 if I'm wearing a different color, but I don't want it to overexpose. So a neat thing about the Pixel C100 is that you can buy it on Amazon, and they actually often have discounts on it. I actually got it for $30 off, so that was a great deal. You get it within 2 days with Prime. The other neat thing is it feels very familiar when you're working with LEDs and continuous lighting. Everything's very straightforward. All the settings are on the actual light, and I can show you some images. The Bowens mount makes it very flexible for you to choose any light modifier you want. I'm using a very small one because I'm in a smaller room. One thing that may deter you from buying it is that this does not have a dedicated battery. It is actually AC powered. So I actually have it plugged in right on the wall right now. But I mean, if you have a studio setup and you don't really need to move the light, it works out. You're also saving a lot more money. So it's not an issue if you have one studio, you don't plan on moving it around. If you're thinking of flexibility, of maybe moving around in your studio or your site, you probably want to look somewhere else to get something with a dedicated battery. Since I'm basically just here, I'm not planning on moving it much. The AC power works just fine, and the cord's actually very long. And I just use the light stand that I already had. So it comes with the remote. See if you can see it right there. And the remote, you can, if you had more than one, you have channel options. You can control the brightness, you can turn the light off, you can group things. It's just a very easy, like I can just hold this here. I don't have to touch the light. And that's just a great feature. So overall, I'm really happy with it. This is a first impressions video. I plan on making another one after using it long term. But first impression, very easy to set up, easy to figure out what exposure percent I needed. The remote made it a lot easy. It's a very bright light. I think I'm very happy with the purchase, but this is how it looks in case you're wondering about this light, or if you're interested in an alternative to the Aputure 120D. Thanks for watching.